So taking a look at the packaging, we have the Friday the 13th Part 6 movie poster with the Jason mask and the light coming through it, as well as Jason Lives inscribed on the grave, Friday the 13th Part 6. On the side you have this very nice Friday the 13th Jason Lives with the Jason grave, NECA and Real Toys. Exactly the same on the opposite side and the top. A load of legal rubbish on the bottom, which, you know, if you guys want to read, you can. And then on the back, we have Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. As a child, Tommy Jarvis did what many others died trying to do. He killed Jason Voorhees, the mass murderer who terrorized the residents of Crystal Lake. Years later, tormented by the fear that maybe Jason isn't really dead, Tommy and a friend make a fateful trip to Jason's grave. And, well, put the pieces together, I'm sure you can assume what happens. Opening up the box, you've got this very nice publicity image of the figure. And then you have the figure himself with his accessories. And then in the background, it's basically just dirt, I think, because I think what they were trying to do, as you can see, you've got the spade and the gasoline is there, and of course the gravestone at the top here, is they were trying to make it look like this is Jason's grave and that's him lying in the grave, which is quite clever actually. So enough about the box, let's get on to the figure itself. Okay, so taking a look at Jason Voorhees himself. Now, this is how he comes packaged in the box without his mask, and as you can see, really, really nice sculpting, absolutely phenomenal detail. I really, really like this. One thing that does worry me is I do actually have a bootleg of this figure, so I know what you guys are going to ask for. Can you do a comparison? Yes, I will, just give me time. But one thing I do worry is his wrists haven't been painted, and I'm not sure if that's just because it's the reissue and NECA have gotten lazy, or maybe it is a bootleg. I don't know. My mom got this from Zavi, so if any of you guys could help me out, I am not sure if this is real or a bootleg. But one thing I will say is, unlike my bootleg, these are actually sealed. But as I said, you'll have to wait for the comparison video for that. Differences to the original release. From what I've seen, these are black instead of brown. They haven't bothered painting his skull area they did on the original. Everything seems to be a lot more green on this newer version, and I think that's it. I think maybe there's less of a wash on the gloves, and also the blood has been toned down, but I don't know because I don't have the original version, but this is the reissue. So, yeah, here's his mask, and if you just take a look at the face there, it's very, very nice. You've got the one eye. You've got all this kind of tight flesh all the way around the back. You've got a bit of skull showing there, as well as the axe gash and the face gash, which is nice. And then just put the mask on over the top. This is a big improvement to my bootleg because the mask is actually the correct size. On my bootleg it was tiny and it wouldn't fit. So yeah, that's nice. I will say one thing though, the mask did get warped in the packaging due to its bendy nature, so just keep that in mind. You know, just a bit of boiling water will fix that, or a hairdryer, or you could just hold it with your fingers for a bit until it stretches out. But what you'll find that when you put it on the head, it will naturally just kind of fit into place nicely. But yeah, just something to be mindful of. So another problem is I have sadly got a loose leg, but that was common amongst older NECA figures. But compared to my bootleg though, this feels much better in terms of build quality. My bootleg was loose and lanky and just all over the place, so this does feel much sturdier. So we'll do articulation very quickly. The head can do a full 360. I wouldn't advise you do it with the mask on though, as well as lean from side to side. You've also got really far forward, which is nice, and quite far back. Once again, just be careful articulating the head when the mask is on because you don't want to break any of the straps. His arms can come right the way out, which is very nice. They can also do a full 360. The arms can come forward as well as from side to side. You have a full 360 at the hands as well as forward and back and out, as you can do a little bit. He has a full 360 at the waist, although mine is really stiff and I don't want to force it. The legs can come forward quite far, although you don't want to leave them in this position because you don't want to warp the PVC nappy that he wears, which is quite funny. They can also come out to the side, as well as pivot or swivel or whatever it's called. The legs can go back reasonably far, and you do also have a rotation at the foot. So overall, nice articulation. You know, I think, does he have an ab crunch joint? He might do, but it's very, very stiff. So yeah, my Jason does have a slight bit of scoliosis, which wasn't uncommon for older NECA figures. So turning to accessories now, he comes with obviously his grave. On the original version, as shown on the packaging, the grave was very light, barely any texture on it, but with the re-release, the reissue, they have given it much more of a texture. And see, that's what the original looked like. You can see the skull was very painted, whereas on the, the original, the reissue, they didn't seem to bother with that. Yeah. Also, the mask was a lot shinier on the original, which I actually prefer. On this one, it's very matte. It just doesn't quite look... I kind of preferred that shiny look to it, to be honest. But anyway, here's the grave. Very nice texture. I do prefer the reissue grave just because it's been given a very nice wash, just to accentuate those details. You even got a bit of a, well, moss or whatever that is. You've got a nice crack down the back. And yeah, looks very good when displayed next to him. You do have an alternate hand. This is to help him hold his spear, which we'll get onto in a moment. Sadly, though, this doesn't work because the hole isn't big enough. Oh, grow up, you guys. So, yeah, it's not big enough, so I'm going to have to get a drill and file that out because the spear does not want to go in. Talking about the spear, it comes, well, in two parts. This is the fence post that he uses, and it comes in two parts, and to connect them together, very simple, you just put them here and very gently push them until they click. Don't be forceful with this, guys, because it will probably break very easily. If you're struggling to get it in, grow up, guys, seriously. If you're struggling to get it in, maybe just filing the peg down a little bit might help. That's what I had to do with my bootleg. I hope you guys don't have to do that, but yeah, this is absolutely enormous. I don't remember it being this big in the film, but yeah, getting it into Jason's hand, fortunately this hand here can hold it. What you need to do is break it in half, put the top half through, like so. It's extremely tight. So put the top half through, and then in the other hand, obviously, get the bottom half through there, and then connect them together like so. So yeah, that's how you would do it. I know I haven't done it as well as I could have done, but yeah, you get the idea. So that's how you would get it into his hands, and then you can make it look like he's ready for action. It's a shame that he is wearing the utility belt, because obviously you can't recreate that scene where he climbs out of the grave and he turns to face the camera really suddenly, and then you've got the lightning and you zoom in on his face and you get that very James Bond-esque type opener, because he's wearing the utility belt and he doesn't get this until... well, he's left the cemetery. He doesn't get that until... I'm not sure. Does he have it when he meets that couple in the car? You know, and he sticks that through the window? He might do. I'd have to watch the film. But anyway, it's a nice accessory nonetheless. And then to take it off, just separate them, pull it out of that hand, pull it out the other hand. Very simple. He does come with his trademark machete. Every Jason's got to come with a machete, which is, this hand has been sculpted to hold. So you just pop it in, nice and simple. Yeah, he does also come with this knife, which you can actually pop in this hand. So you can have him holding the knife as well if you so want. It does just clip in there. So yeah, dual wielding Jason. And if you don't want that, you can actually just slide it into the knife pouch, which is very, very cool. And that just holds in there like that. That's my preferred way for displaying him. You can also do the same with the machete. It's very simple to do. I like things like this. I actually quite like this because it means that, you know, you can't really lose the accessories because they're actually on the figure. So yeah, you just slot it in there. It's very snug, it's very comfortable, but it works. It really does work, actually. So that's really, really nice. So yeah, it's not the greatest amount of accessories, but it's all you need, really, and I think it goes very, very well with this Jason. So overall, what do I think of Jason? He's really good. He's not the perfect figure, and definitely can tell that it's one of NECA's older figures. Slightly clunky, doesn't really hold up too well with the articulation, but still I think his visuals are really, really impressive. I think if you're a fan of the Friday the 13th films and a fan of Friday the 13th Part 6, this is a must-have. It's a very nice figure to have on the shelf, and I would highly recommend it. Also, if you're like me and you hope to collect all of the Jason figures, well, it's definitely a must-have. This is a very iconic Jason because it is his first zombie appearance, and Friday the 13th Part 6 is something of a fan favourite, including with myself. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching my action figure review. Please like, share and subscribe, and check out my many other NECA reviews on this channel. Stay safe and happy wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!